I would say since this new administration has come in, there is a lot more cross-government department working, that we are actually, my department and Minister Skelly's department have worked well over the last year regarding training and skills. So those are areas that we've actually been working well together on.
Yeah, that's a very good point, and we focused there on Villa and Gaiety and the cultural, but the training and skills was a vital part, and I thought that fit very well. We've worked closely together, worked in departments together, and I think we understand that. But one of the programme for government's action points or deliverables that we want to achieve is lifelong learning, and that's why it was important to actually fit the education and the skills together. And we've seen such a growth, and in terms of particularly in the vocational space, and the opportunities there I think are bound to actually do that in a more effective manner. Now it actually sits in Minister Cregeen's department.
So is this just moving furniture then, or is government going to increase or decrease in scope at all?
No, I would say, personally, I would say it's actually about improving efficiency, that it will be able to deliver a greater return in terms of value to the citizen that we actually represent.
Is it a deflection tactic by the department? Because the DED's had, well, an unfortunate spell of luck over the past few years.
It's been an unfortunate acronym when it was created, I think, in 2010. And no, I think what you have to do is look back at perhaps the last strategy that we did, which was Vision 2020. And that was all about a strategy for the economy going forward. And probably just as that print dried, it was already outdated, because our economy is actually so diverse, so dynamic. We needed to understand, do we have the right structure? And that's why we did the root and branch review. And whilst we're talking about functions here, the big news here really for the department is that we'll be able to focus in on strategy and policy and supporting these executive agencies going forward.
And also from an education point of view, you know, having those direct links to industry, and if we take the Advanced Engineering Centre as a prime example about how education, economic development worked with industry to provide what I would say is as a leading environment for training engineers. And we will be looking across that model to see how we can improve it. And when I look at the schools, you know, we are trying to encourage businesses to come into the schools, to engage with our children, to show them what industry does. So I think that's been a real positive.
Well, the changes kick in Friday morning, don't they? What's the first move for both of you?
Well, it's business as usual in many ways. We still carry on. These functions, really, the public won't see any real difference. This is a change in the mechanisms within government to actually be able, as I say, to deliver a better service and function for the people we represent.
Yeah, I agree with Laurence that, you know, this is not just a case of we'll suddenly make these huge changes as soon as anything comes in, because I think you have to take time to look at them, to try and develop those areas. And, you know, you shouldn't see anything change from tomorrow, apart from possibly if you get a press release and the name on the top will have changed.
Yeah. Well, gents, thanks very much, and all the best with the rebrand.
Thank you very much.
All right.